rolling Read 'em and Weeb in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're not the only special one around here.
Been a while since I flipped my switch on.
I need to fight him, and you can't talk me out of it.
Let me see what you got.
I'm about to kick your ass.
I can't allow myself to get beaten by someone.
Hi, welcome to Read 'em and Weeb. My name is Davie. This is my friend Esau.
We're only getting one camera angle because it's late and we're tired, and David recorded in 4K again.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Also, just because of how noisy that footage is, it just doesn't look good. So,
Visually noisy?
yeah.
Why did I... let's not... Anyway, we're going to jump right in. The Chimeras lived for a little bit, and then they died at the end.
Yeah, so I think the rawest scene in this fucking book is when Fuhrer President King Bradley spears a woman through Al's body.
It's... Actually, that's something I want to talk about. So that happened. It's tragic. It's traumatic.
It's raw. It's epic.
Yeah, the blood spills on Al's seal, which is very interesting. But there's a weird scene where, and by weird, I mean, I almost want to call it bad, where Ed's cleaning out Al's armor. He's like, all right, you're finally clean. And Ed's like, it's not your fault. And Al's like, oh no, I wasn't thinking about that. Oh, I just saw the truth. And like, he's like, it was weird. It feels so disconnected.
Yeah, I think because the reaction would be, it's almost tragic that Al isn't focused on that, because I feel like in the beginning of the story he would be.
Yeah.
But I think at this point Al's seen so much fucked up shit that he's almost like, I feel like this is what I care about now.
I disagree. I feel like that might be what she's trying to convey, but I feel like that is not. I felt like this is one of those moments where I'm like, there's a reason for it type things that I feel like I'm missing it. It feels too abrupt.
Yeah.
That Al's like, oh no, I don't care. But like, because he clearly cared, and it was so traumatic that it made him remember seeing, like, that was the whole thing. Like, oh, trauma might do it. It felt like a means to an end that, like, okay, it's done now. It's a one and done.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, you know. And I don't think this will ever come up again, in fact.
That woman was speared inside of him.
Yeah. Like, someone died in you. And he's kind of just fine with it now. So traumatic, he saw it. I'm sorry, I'm talking and touching the mic. I'm so sorry. But it feels a little disconnected. This is like not like, 99 versus 100. This feels like a 60 versus like 100.
Yeah.
So it feels a little awkward, to say the very least.
I think, and I also think this moment is also shown to us in a way that's a little confusing, because I think I agree with you, it's the trauma that gets him to remember. But I also can see, because I remember reading it the first time, and I almost thought that her blood touching his seal is what did it, because they show it happening after the blood hits the seal.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh, that triggered it somehow, even though that's not what happened.
Well, it's symbolic.
Yeah.
Like, this situation touched his soul is what I would like to... Hold up, I gotta do this again. I'm sorry. It's touched his soul, and I feel like... I'm like, okay, that's so... First of all, it's a super sick scene. Both in, like, a traumatic sense and, like, of, like, wow. That, like... I almost called it aesthetically. It visually is like, okay, this is super well done, and then it feels undermined by the fact that he's like, oh, well, you know, the truth. You know, sick, the truth.
I think it's almost because the truth section was a little too short, because, and I get we don't have to go through it with Al too much because we saw what Ed went through and we can kind of get the gist of it, but it's also like, yeah, I'd also be like, when I saw the truth, that shit was fucking terrifying. Because with Ed, it kind of not brushing it off, but we see Ed just kind of like get excited by it.
Yeah.
Ed sees the truth and he's like, I need to go again. Like, there's so much questions I have. Like, I have to see it again. That was fucking rad. I don't think Al would react that way. I think Al would see that and get fucking terrified. Because the cost was also greater for some reason.
That's another thing that doesn't make any sense, is the cost of seeing the truth.
I think that's also the point, is like, equivalent exchange is kind of bullshit when it comes to the truth. That is the hypocrisy of that whole thing.
But like after Al wakes up, he's like, we're waking with like a tragic looking scene. He's there covered in blood. He sees his brother covered in blood. He's like, I couldn't help her. He like puts his head in his hands, his helmet in his hands, I guess. And then they're like done. They're like, I'm sorry. Oh, it's not your fault. Al, let's go home. Teacher's waiting. He's like, all right. And then Fear President King Bradley interrogates them.
And he's like, hey, so did you tell him anything? And Ed is like, no.
No, I'm a little
like,
bitch.
He's like, really think about your answer, because if you did, I'm gonna have to kill you both right now. No, still no.
Why would I admit it now?
Yeah, I would have told you the truth if that happened, but now I won't. So,
and then he's like, are you guys, is the fact that you have metal parts and the fact that he's a suit of armor related? He goes, oh.
Because this whole section was so fucking tight, and I really liked it, that this ending feels really abrupt.
Yeah.
So I was gonna mention about Armstrong before you cut me off last episode and never got back to this point.
You cut yourself off.
You cut me off.
What did I say?
Because you said, before we get to that, can we talk about how they flexed at each other?
Oh yeah, you're right. I did talk about that.
And we never got to it. So sorry, last episode, peeps.
I'm not.
When Armstrong's fighting against the Chimera, and they mentioned, like, they brought up that they're fucking tested experiments from the military. I don't know how the fuck we glossed over that. It's kind of important.
No. We're not here for a summary.
True.
We're here for our insane ramblings.
Yeah. This is a comedy podcast first. The manga's just a way for us to fucking...
Our manga's our excuse for us to hang out.
Yeah. They mentioned that there were soldiers, and he says, like, I used to fight alongside you.
We were comrades.
Armstrong.
In fact, one of them is like, like the one knows him by name.
Yeah. And then Armstrong's like, just surrender, and we won't, just surrender. It's going to be a lot easier. And then Bradley comes out of nowhere, and he's like, I told you to fucking kill them.
That's not what I said. I didn't say they could surrender. Kill them.
Yeah. That's why you never get promoted. And that line was raw as fuck.
Yeah.
But that's also the first part where it's like, oh, Bradley is 100% evil.
Yeah.
You don't say that to Armstrong. He's the strong arm alchemist. His alchemy has been passed down to the Armstrong family for generations.
He's the worst with it.
Yeah.
His sister is so much cooler.
We haven't gotten there. Spoilers.
What are you talking about? There was that mini thing with her. They look the same. They have the same eyelashes.
I don't know why this reminded me
Go on.
of remind me of my friend Jeffy E. I don't know why that fucking reminded me of that bit. I don't know why. I think it's the lighting.
Why would it be the lighting?
Because we were really red and blue in those fucking pictures. Those videos. Jeffy E was a banger bit.
Shut up. That being said, it feels so abrupt here. This feels like a like I wrote two things here and I don't remember how I wanted to connect them.
Yeah, because the transition of, like, it feels like Al at that moment needs to have two really big conversations.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it's like, okay, how do I organically have him have both? And realistically, they didn't have him.
I feel like he should have ruminated more on the idea of the truth and have it been overshadowed more with the death of or have them coincide.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time he tries to remember the truth, he remembers the feeling of that girl dying inside of him. That sick ass chimera lady.
Yeah, and I think him, I don't know. It's tough because it's like I don't have an easy way where I would have that conversation go down, because, and I guess this is an example of where the comedy didn't really work here.
Oh yeah, because the dichotomy is very shown because the next bit is Bury the Chopper.
Dude, I fucking love Bury the Chopper.
So Barry sneaks up on Hawkeye and she just shoots him, and he's like, I'm a fucking suit of armor. She's like, I don't care. Shoots him more. She's like, how come you're not scared? He's like, I have a friend. He's like, your friend's a fucking Alphonse? She's like, how do you know Alphonse?
You know Alphonse?
Who? His friends call him Al. How do you know that?
We're pals.
We're suits of armor. That TikTok trend. We're suits of armor. We call each other by your nicknames and Barry the Chopper. We're suits of armor. We chop up people and kill them. Barry, no.
Barry. No, that's not. I'm supposed to say that. We're alchemists. We love science. We're alchemists. I try to bring my mom back to life. Ed. But it's like when they're looking at the feet, but you can see Ed's face because he's so small.
That's funny. We're alchemists. Sometimes we get into a little bit of trouble. We're alchemists. I put my daughter inside of a dog.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal
Alchemist. Anyway, the dichotomy is there, and it's like playing two notes too close together. It's a dissonance. That's literally the term I was looking for. I had to describe what it meant to remember the word.
Dude, you said dissonance, and for some reason I started thinking of the Soul Eater theme song. It's not even the same.
Soul Resonance.
Soul Resonance, yeah.
I really like Black Paper Moon too.
Me too.
We need to read it. We need to read it.
I know.
You really don't know how it ends.
I don't. I only saw the anime fucking version. That shit sucks.
Courage! Bam!
I think it's raw when she's like asleep going into weapon mode.
Yeah.
And he just crushes her ribs to wake her up. I was like, damn, what show is this?
I'm not gonna lie, I like when he does the Frieza thing in his head. I guess that's just the TFS bit. That didn't happen actually.
Yeah.
Doon. Bro, that was so... First of all, TFS did it great. I like when his head goes like this. Because they show it with a panel. I guess they don't show it with a panel break because it's not a manga. But it shows it, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sick.
The
lame way to do it. Oh, spoilers. Oops.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm also looking at my camera that's not on.
Spoiler for Soul Eater, my bad.
The anime specifically. That doesn't happen in the manga. Or manga podcast.
Yeah, sorry. I like Soul Eater for there's this trend going on TikTok where it's just two people who are dripped out as fuck.
Who's the weapon? Who's the Meister?
I love that trend.
So I'm on the opposite side of that trend where it's just people bandwagoning wearing normal clothes.
That's funny.
No, they don't know that how it works. So they're just like, oh, who would it be? They're genuine. They're like, oh, we're doing the trend. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, they're just two regular ass people.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I've only seen one. It's a punk girl and her cowboy boyfriend. And I was like,
I've also seen that.
I'm like, cool. You're the weapon.
I've landed on the people who are stitching them, drawing them.
I wish I was there. That sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah, I fucking love that trend. Because there was these two girls, dude, finding that trend with lesbians and they're all dripped out as shit, it's fucking sick. Like, there's this girl who was wearing, like, she straight up was dressed like she's fucking in Bloodborne.
You've never played Bloodborne?
I've watched someone play it.
You've watched Game Grumps play it?
Them, and then I think when we were on a call, Ben was playing it.
Ben doesn't own Bloodborne.
He did, though.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, maybe it was Sekiro. He never finished it.
Never finished Sekiro.
Never finished it. Who the fuck did I watch play it?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who you watched play it.
You're right. The point is
Dripped out.
And that trend is so fucking sick.
Oh, if you like lesbians and Soul Eater, you'll hate Soul Eater Not, which is about both of those things.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Our buddy M told me about it. And I think they liked it. Or they didn't. I lied. I know who told me about it. They didn't like it. You know who liked it?
Who?
Their birthday's on a Monday. That's for sure. You know when their birthday is. You saw it on my calendar.
Oh, okay. Got it.
They liked it. They were telling me about it. And I went, okay.
Every time I see anything about it, it's always with, this shit sucks.
It's pretty bad.
Someone pitched it the same way you just did. Like, oh, if you're a fan of Soul Eater, you'll hate Soul Eater Not. And I was like, good. I'm not a fan of Soul Eater.
Except you are.
I think it's cool. I've never experienced it in the purest form.
Yeah. Do you want to start with Fire Force?
Why would I do that?
Because it's by the same author.
You're right.
Same mangaka, I guess.
I hear that the fan service is egregious.
It's egregious with one person because that's the bit.
I don't think it's a very funny bit.
It's like it's trying to be a satire, but it's failing because it's a satirical character.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work in a serious show.
You know my hot take?
No, I don't.
I fucking love Excalibur.
Oh no! Excalibur, it fucking rocks. I like it. It's ironic. You like him ironically.
I fucking love him.
Fool.
Did you genuinely spoil me right now?
No, you're not gonna read it or watch it.
we have a podcast, brother.
This part all has to be cut. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there's literally no way for me to salvage this.
You're watching Full Metal Alchemist, followed by an episode of Full Metal Alchemist.
Only on Em and Weeb.
And we're back. Esau just spoiled Fire Force.
Yeah, VTuber just went live. Can I call off?
Calling off while you're already at work.
Yeah. I mean, some people do it, man.
I thought about calling off on Tuesday, but I forgot I'm going on the news that day.
Talk about our podcast?
Yeah. I'll throw it in there. My boss can be so mad.
I would be too. Anyway, bury the chopper.
Yeah. Bury the chopper.
Barry falls for Hawkeye because who fucking wouldn't?
He's bad as fuck.
Yeah. And she suddenly calls out. I love how suspicious they are of the military, that they don't talk about anything on the phone. They just like, hey, I need to talk to you, and no convincing. They're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And they talk about Barry the Chopper. They confirm it with some dude, and Barry's like, I remember everything. Like, oh, what about this day? It's like, it was this day, idiot.
Yeah.
I fucking love Barry. Barry's personality is very not genuine. What's the word I'm looking for? Constant. They're very. It feels like a real character.
Mm-hmm.
Deranged, but like there. And I'm like,
did you guys even do your research? I hit the second tower. That's peel off.
did you even do your research? I hit the second tower.
It wasn't Osama, it was me. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm following your bit.
Yeah,
you were literally like that. I almost called him. Okay, you're like, that was peel off, and I was like, I guess I'll do a peel off.
That was your peel off?
Yeah.
Did not get that at all. I thought you were doing Billy.
Who?
The butcher.
Barry the Chopper.
Barry the Chopper.
I would have probably done it differently.
How does he sound in the anime? Because he's like
Barry.
He kind of sounds. No, that's peel off again.
I don't know how he sounds. I didn't watch.
Because he's kind of sounding like this.
I don't know. Remember.
I keep accidentally doing peel off.
Might be the same.
Heads I win, tails you lose. Man, I wish that more of these mangas had characters that I could voice, because I was really running with peel off when we were doing Dragon Ball.
Make it up.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
So I guess now that I'm like reading Fullmetal again, I guess Vic Mignogna is kind of came out that he was kind of like a bad person, so I don't really feel bad saying this.
That VTuber really is live, though. That's the third notification I got for them being live.
We like Ed's voice actor. Have you seen the English stuff of Fullmetal?
Yes, I watched both animes.
Yeah, so
I lied 10 seconds ago when I said I didn't.
I think it fits Ed, but there are moments in the book where we're reminded how young Ed is, and I almost feel like his older voice doesn't fit at times.
Don't mess with me! Sorry, that's the only scene I remember.
What scene was that?
Where he yells, "Don't mess with me."
Yeah, I get that part. He's up. When? What's the context?
I don't know. How would I know the context if I said that's the only thing I remember? Stupid.
Sorry, I don't know why you reminded me of. What did Caleb City say with that kind of delivery? Stupid. What was that? Was that
You're stupid. I don't. He kind of just does that a lot.
Because I remember to be like, "No, stupid." I can't remember what the fuck that bit was though. Oops. Because I feel like Ed's voice actor, it doesn't fit in the more childish moments. Like he should almost be a little more. He should sound a little more like a kid. And that's not to say that I think it's bad. I think that voice fits Ed really well.
I think it's bad.
But there are moments in the book where I'm like, oh, okay, I understand I think they could have done that a little differently. Because the more I read the manga, the more I really think that Brotherhood is not a good version of this story. It's a really good anime.
Inferior version, to say the least.
Yeah. But I just feel like there's so much missing. And also they're doing shit way out of order.
Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to bring this up. The guy that was testing Barry the Chopper, Roy is like giving him an out. He's like, forget everything that happened here. Like, just pretend this never happened. He's like, I'm too far in. My memory's too perfect. I'll never leave your side. And then Roy's like, all right, then you're babysitting Barry. And he's like, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck?
I think it's also interesting just how like ride or die
everyone is with Roy.
Yeah.
Because Roy's like a real. He's like a real one.
Mm.
Until he's not. Hold up, that happened in this volume? The Prince.
Oh, okay. So one thing I want to mention, they're really ride or die for him. I don't know why this reminds me, but one thing I want to mention about this particular section. So they go back to Rush Valley, and they meet up with Winry again. We meet a character who's depicted as a homosexual stereotype.
Oh, I was also going to talk about this.
And
why is this so common?
I don't know, but God, I hate this trope.
There's only one anime that did this well, and it only did this well in retrospect, and that's One Piece. Yeah. I love Bon Clay,
I do love
but
Bon Clay.
I did not like the way when he started.
Yeah, I agree.
After that Sanji, it starts in the Sanji fight where I'm like, actually, because even Sanji's like, you're a real one.
Yeah,
and I'm like, so true.
I do like it. And I think the only other character that of this archetype that I enjoy is like Liron from Gurren Lagann.
Liron's also Liron's a little bit of a miss with me.
Again, in the beginning of the story, I also agree that it's like a little too much. But as the show goes further on, he becomes a little more endearing because he's such an integral part of the team.
Yeah,
he's the best engineer.
Yeah, my issue is with the trope, not the character.
Yeah.
Because the trope is always like they flirt with any man, and he does that with the two boys,
the two young boys, and that's where like the problem is because it's perpetuating that homosexuals are predators stereotype.
Yeah,
and it's like I read that and I was like, the times.
Because like, you sounded a little too nostalgic for that. The time.
No, because it's like frustrating. It's like this because this.
Yeah, but you didn't sound frustrated. Is what I'm saying. You sounded
like good old days.
Yeah, you sounded like a racist reliving their old days. The times.
Me reading a newspaper. The times.
The New York Times. I get it.
Looking at my clock. The time.
Clocks plural. The times.
It's very late.
It's late. It's the next day. It's really early.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I really don't like that trope.
Sorry, did you see the IRL lag delay? My joke and it hitting him.
2-day shipping. It's just frustrating to see like a show that's doing or a book that's doing so well
with its characters, and then just being like
gay people.
That's more joke. Like gay people. That's how they're written.
Yeah, look how silly they are and predatory.
Yeah,
and it's like, God, can we not? Also, the African American characters are kind of drawn with kind of big lips.
Yeah,
and I'm like, come on, like. I was thinking about this recently because Toriyama had a real big problem doing that as well.
What? You told me the one with Mr. Popo is what?
Mr. Popo is kind of out of that discussion too because there's like he's based off of like something from the Hindu faith. I remember seeing like posts about it and articles. But you get to like what was his name? Was
General Black?
Was he actually General Black?
I have no idea.
I think he was. But I remember we brought it up because they edited his lips in the release that we read. But nowadays we got that teacher, Pan's teacher, that's drawn with a little more like actual character to her, and it's not like a caricature. We got Goten and Trunks' classmates. They had African American classmates, and they were drawn with actual, like, not caricatures. And it's like, Toriyama got older and fixed that.
He grew up.
And it sucks looking at things like this in retrospect with the gay stereotypes and the black stereotypes, being like, oh, well, that's fucked up.
Shaman King.
I haven't read Shaman King.
I've read one volume because it was very cheap. Did not realize it would come in new. And I realized why. And like they just have like a stereotype of like Indian people and black people on like the same page. They're like, oh, people of all races, and it shows that. And I'm like, why did you do it like that?
People love Shaman King.
Weren't you talking shit about it with me?
Yeah, and then I followed up with saying I never read it. That's how that clip ends.
It wasn't a clip. That was IRL. That was just us talking. That was pre-podcast.
I thought we were recording. I don't remember doing it pre-podcast.
We've done it pre-podcast. We've talked shit about it several times.
I remember like ending it with like, nah, I don't know, I've never read it. Yeah, I don't know. It's so unfortunate, and it's also like, I think Naruto is also fucking egregious. Like, what do you mean, Killer Bee is a fucking rapper? Like, it's a funny quirk, but like, come on, it's like the first black guy we meet.
Yeah. To be fair, it's isolated to B.
Yeah.
And B is really sick.
Yeah, B is cool as fuck. He humbles Sasuke.
Yeah. But he is a bit of a stereotype.
Yeah. But it's also really funny that, like, it feels like he's writing what he thinks rap is, you know?
Well, I don't think so, because everyone's like, this is not rap. Everyone is like, B doesn't know how to rap.
I'd argue he does. Bro's got bars sometimes.
Yeah, but everyone else is like, B, what are you doing? And then Naruto's like, I'm worse.
Yeah.
I almost said some weird stuff. So I was like, Naruto is like, you know, when he tries to rap, I feel like he would be like, I'm going to say the N-word because that's what people who rap do.
Naruto wouldn't say that. I still think of like that Asuna clip from Sword Art Online Abridged where she's like uncomfortable around Tiffany.
What's up, Tito? What's up in his house?
You gotta give me the deets on that and get? Oh, man.
That is, in my opinion, one of the best delivered lines in any abridged media.
That joke makes me laugh harder than any fucking thing else in that abridged.
Asuna trying her hardest to relate to people.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Give me the deets on that and get? No, man. Crazy.
There's so much beauty in this world,
you know?
That was a different bit, but just connecting two separate instances, but it's so fucking funny.
I was just like, who the fuck wrote that?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know who wrote that. Just know that they're
That's the funniest joke.
The funniest joke I've ever seen.
So I want to do stand up, right? And I think for a video, that's what I'm going to do. Because one of the members of our
So you've been doing that a lot.
Yeah, thank you. One of the members at my work, they're a comedian, and so he gave me his card, and he's like, "Hey, if you want to do stand up, like just email me, and I'll put you in like one of our shows." And I said, "Oh, sick." Because I have this bit, and it's like I have the bit, but it's like I need to structure it in a way that doesn't sound fucked up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think racists are so funny.
Uh-huh.
Not racism.
Yeah.
Racists.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is like, it takes a lot of balls to go up and be like, black people, right?
Yeah. Sorry, it just reminds me of that bit, like, if you're racist and you know it, clap your hands. And then some guy claps, he's like, what the fuck, bro?
What was that? Was that Asda movie? That feels like an Asda movie.
No, that's like a real comedian did that.
Oh, okay. That feels like an Asda movie bit. There was Super Mega just put out a video, right? Where they're Super Mega?
Don't know what that is.
They were putting up a.
You're talking about with Matt Watson.
Yeah,
I know him. Me and him are buddies. Sorry, I just call it Mega. I'm cool with them like that. Sorry, the ongoing bit is I helped Matt Watson onto a roof once.
That's really funny Esau lore.
Yeah. Hiding at the edge of a house that we were at a concert for.
Yeah, no, it's really funny.
Playing on my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, you were just at a concert, not giving a fuck, and Matt Watson was like, "Can you help me on a roof?" And you helped him.
No. He was struggling to get on a roof, and I was like, "Do you need help?" He goes, "Yeah, that'd be nice." Because there was just no way for him to get on that roof without just climbing it.
And then he gave me a hug while being fucking wasted as shit.
You could smell it. Sorry, there's no like audibly, visually. What is it when you can smell it? Olfactorily.
4D scratch and sniff. He was drunk as shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey Matt, I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture?" And he said, "Absolutely." Give me a big old hug, and I was like, "Okay."
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Dan Harmon, I got a picture with him too.
Don't know that.
Same. He's the guy who made Rick and Morty.
What?
Yeah. So I got a picture with him when I was 13. I said, "Hi, Dan. Can I get a picture?" And he said, "Sure." And he hugged me and he was drunk as shit.
I didn't help him on a roof.
He didn't. And then, so me and my friends circled around and went, "Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. Rick. That part didn't happen. But what was really funny.
Do you want to talk about the sins now? We meet the father here.
Yeah. What the fuck was my point?
No, we just diverged so much.
No. I had a point.
Nope.
I did.
Wrong.
The fuck was it?
Rick and Morty.
What was I saying before that?
Okay, Rick and Morty. Super Mega. You were talking about
Yeah.
Super Mega.
Yeah. So they had a bit come out. As you said, it got your nose. The whole thing was like this fake.
God, we're so ADHD, man.
Yeah, it was this fake. Like kind of like a mock, like a parody of one of those like videos of like where they have interrogating someone who murdered like their family.
Right.
And it's the interrogation room, and they show it's Ryan who's like doing shit. He's like, got your nose. Now you're gonna answer our questions if you want to get this back.
Let's talk about the sins.
Okay.
Jesus, we tangent into tangents.
It's good. It's a good thing.
Anyway, they crucify greed.
They do. They fucking like Jesus. Happy Easter, everybody.
No, wrong.
Oh no,
It's time rolled over.
it's April 1st now.
Anyway, they crucify greed. It's not Easter, April Fool's Day. This is where we see most of the sins. We see greed, wrath, lust, envy, gluttony, and then they show a very little bit of sloth. Sloth we know the least about in the end, which is interesting in my opinion. And obviously we meet Father. Have we seen? But we see that we learn more about greed and how greed, like, long time ago, because he doesn't even know Future President King Bradley as a homunculus until he reveals it. So he's been out of...
Even Greed was like, "What?"
Yeah, what the hell?
That's a sick reveal.
He looks at the camera.
But Greed also points out like, "Oh, a homunculus that can age."
Yeah, something we probably should have talked about back when it happened.
Well, no, this we learned about it in this part.
No, we learned about it in that last part.
No,
Oh, you're right. You know what?
he brings it up while he's getting crucified. Greed's actually the first time they actually hear of them being referred to as homunculus, because that gives Al the question of like, "Wait, you're a homunculus," meaning that like some sort of human transmutation was done, and you might hold the key to getting our bodies back.
Yeah.
Which is because I feel like in the anime when they refer to homunculus, that connection isn't quite held onto. It's just kind of like, we're the homunculus. You know this because you watched 2003, right?
Homunculus. Remember Wrath? Remember how Wrath just had... Hold up. So was this just a relic of the original Full Metal? Can the homunculus do alchemy?
I don't think they do not in this actual version.
They just have special powers?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, spoilers for the original Full Metal, that's why Wrath was special, because they could do alchemy.
Yeah.
Why didn't Sin claim Al's body? I don't know.
I remember like I remember for a while I just didn't like 2003 when I was watching it.
I still don't.
Because I remember like I can appreciate some parts of it, because I think the Nina scene is way better in 2003 than regular or than Brotherhood.
That's because it was following a script.
Yeah, it's also the darker tone of it was nice.
Yeah.
But also like I remember Ed being like seeing Wrath and me like that. Wait, yeah, Wrath wasn't King Bradley in 2003.
Correct. That's what I said. It's, and I quote,
had to make
person
sure
that had Ed's arm.
Had to make sure that wasn't like Pride for some reason. But yeah, I remember seeing that, and he's like, That's
another thing I want to point out. We do not know who Pride is yet. There is no Pride yet in the homunculus.
Yeah, we haven't met Pride, but
we don't even know if a Pride exists.
Yeah, they're the sins. So, but with Wrath, Ed's like, "That's my fucking arm
and leg."
I know them anywhere.
I know it anywhere.
Why your skin tone change? That's my arm. I was talking to somebody recently. I was high as shit, right? And I gave a voice memo to my coworkers, and I was like, dude, when we were kids, we were kind of just told that Michael Jackson was black and then he was white when he died, and we just accepted that. And like, why hasn't there been like another notable person
who's ever done that?
Yeah,
because you can't do that as a famous person without just copying Michael Jackson, and doing it the other way is racist.
Well, no, they're not doing it. It was a disease.
Oh, what? I thought so I didn't know that. First of all, I thought he did that he bleached his skin.
No. He had a condition.
What do you have?
I don't remember what it's called, but he had a condition of some sort. And I was like, yeah. Here's the thing, because I thought, oh, that just happens to people. Then there has not been another notable person that that has Michael Jackson, and we just accepted that. You're telling me the king of pop was black and white? Well, he's always black. He's black, but you're telling me he died with a white complexion, and we just accepted that as fact?
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy. And I feel like no one thinks of it as like a big deal as much as I do.
This really got you from the skin tone. Oh, it was vitiligo. Vitiligo.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I just remember it tripping me out. And I was like, man, I don't know if people talk about this.
I have a couple friends that have this. One I met in college.
I know some people who have it like just like on body parts.
Well, it spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading it. It says that he used makeup to cover it up.
But I just remember like being like, oh, there's no notable celebrity that like did that.
So I didn't grow up with a computer until like middle school when, Michael Jackson was long dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that he just did that. He was like, fuck it, I want to be white. Until this moment I thought that.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm a white guy now.
I am one guy now.
What's up? Fucking yeah, I just remember seeing that, and because when we were kids, that he was already white. Well, he's always black, but he's already had a white complexion, and I just remember being like, that can happen.
Someone at our school was like that, but I think they graduated before you got there.
Mm.
It was a person I met in college. I almost said their full name.
What if we get Michael Jackson on the podcast?
I can do it.
Okay.
I've never heard how he sounds. I have never listened to a Michael Jackson song in my life.
Draw a transmutation circle and just try to make Michael Jackson.
That'll be one of our sketches. If we were sorry, we were planning out sketches for other series. Like when we do that one incest series, we're gonna make out with each other.
I forgot what you were talking about.
Same. Anyway, Greed is poking a lot of fun at everybody. We're talking about wrath. That's how we got to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So he knows everyone except for Bradley, and possibly someone else. And then we finally see, I almost called him something else, Homunculus, or fuck it, Father. Fuck
your father. Fuck your father.
Fuck your father. Fuck your father. And he's like, he seems so regal. Everyone's like clearly like, and Greed's like not having anything of it. He's been, like I said, he's been gone a long time, and they just fucking dip him in lava, and he's like, how cliche. And I'm like, what do you mean cliche? You never seen a fucking movie?
Yeah.
I guess he's a fucking reader. And he's like, oh yeah, the water's fine. And I'm sure the flames in hell are even hotter. And he's like, oh, I'm going before you. Don't worry about it. And I was like,
he really said, yeah, punish me, daddy.
Yeah, fine by me, dad, but don't blame me if you get sick, because he's going to just fucking drink them. And And he does. He turns into... I don't know how he got from the lava
To his cup.
to the cup, but he did.
He really got mondoed from... Sorry, spoiler. I didn't say from where, but...
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either. And then we meet Bradley's family. If you're Emperor... Fuck it, no. If you're President King Bradley's family. The Bradleys.
If you're President Prince Bradley.
We meet his wife.
If you're President Queen Bradley.
If you're Vice President Queen Bradley.
If you're First Lady Queen Bradley.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
This is just our bit.
If you're Secretary of State Prince Bradley.
we gotta write something for this.
No, we don't.
No, we do.
No, we don't.
It's an easy bit.
Anyway. So learning that he has a family is kind of like jarring the first time you read this.
Yeah, he fucks.
Yeah. Or does he? Anyway. Now we meet the people from what's this country called? Sorry if I get it wrong. I'm racist.
Xing.
Yes, Xing. I was gonna call it Ying.
It's also the first time we hear that their country is Arendelle.
Story's great. World building in Full Metal is actually not that good. I'm being honest.
It's very simple.
Yeah,
But it
the
doesn't have to
areas
be.
are very well done, like every city, but like the country, I'm like, I don't know jack shit about the country. You crossed the Great Desert?
Yeah, and they did a little bit of exposition, but I'd argue that they just kind of glossed over it because it wasn't that important.
It's not important. It's like not. The world's not important. What's important is
their country, and then Xing.
So it's Jing, it's Mei Chang, and Zhao Mai. The panda?
Yeah, the goat.
The tiny... I don't understand.
Tiny panda. It's pretty simple.
You got me.
It's not like Jujutsu Kaisen where that panda doesn't make fucking sense. Until it does.
Nope, never does.
I'm sorry, but the hardest I've ever laughed is watching the Jujutsu Kaisen theme play for the very first time and Panda running on a roof and me going, what the fuck?
So, spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen. You've caught up with the anime, right?
Yeah.
That part where Sukuna is like, nobody move.
That part was kind of sick.
There's a bit where they're like, if any human moves, they die. And then they edit Panda running away because he's not a human. It's the
Panda.
Funny, yeah. It's the funniest bit of all time.
I think Panda's like just the best character to me. Because
Not a high bar.
every punchline, he's like, well, I'm a panda, so.
And then, like, my favorite part is when he's like, well, I'm not a panda, you see? At least not a normal one. I have siblings. A gorilla, and I don't remember what the other one is. Anyway.
Me neither.
I
like the concept of Aka history. I'm going to refer to it as such. Because it shows that, like, yeah, we would come to different conclusions, similar conclusions, but they'd be referred to as different things. And I wish more stories did this. Like, we have Naruto with the different nations. Why are they all using the same terminology for chakra and jutsu?
Well, because they're not nations. They're lands.
I guess a better example would be
They're tribes.
Hunter x Hunter probably be a better example, where we have the Phantom Troop who were not traditionally trained in Nen. Why are they using the same terms?
Not even the same terms. Why is their application of it so
Traditional?
Yeah, traditional isn't the word I'm looking for, but I was going to be like someone as a classically trained person would do it.
Mm-hmm. Because the only person who's actually had classical training would be Shalnark, because, sorry, spoilers, because he has a hunter's license.
I don't know what that is.
He's the guy who controls people with like the little phone.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a hunter's license, meaning he canonically would be trained by someone.
You called it a hunter's license.
Hunter's license. He served cunt for his hunter's license. So he would have like someone train him, because that's what happens when you get your hunter's license. So that makes sense, and maybe he would have taught everyone. Maybe Crollo would also learn somehow.
This is where things fall apart in the Hunterverse. If you think too hard about anything,
I can rationalize it. Only way I rationalize it is that Shalnark would have traditional training.
Yeah,
and he could tell everyone else.
Well, here's the thing: you don't know that,
but when
because you know who else doesn't have classical training but also has a hunter's license? Fucking
Hisoka.
Gon?
No, Gon did get trained.
Yes, but doesn't mean he was going to get trained.
Yeah,
he got trained.
No, he was going to get trained because his teacher would have found him regardless, because when you get your hunter's license, now you get taught nen by a teacher.
No, that's not how that works.
Because that's why that's why Kurapika also got taught nen.
No, he got taught nen because he found a teacher. They were going to go through a purification ritual at the tower. The only reason why they got taught is because they were going to do that.
I also think they mentioned, like, no, we were going to run into each other anyway. I've been assigned to teach you.
I don't think so.
I'm fairly certain. Let's look it up. I know this isn't important to what we're doing right now, but I feel like
also,
I'm right.
if he's assigned to teach them, this makes this 1,000 times worse, and I actually hate it.
Hunter x Hunter, do you get assigned? I don't know how to ask this question.
What's the dude's name? The teacher.
I don't remember. I realized that each and every applicant has learned nen around the same time, barring Hisoka and Illumi because they already knew, and Gon and Killua since they met up with Wing. Wing is his name. Not to mention Izunavi when, I don't know what that is. Oh, after Kurapika specifically. So you think the Hunter Association got in touch? Someone said it's unclear, although if I'm remembering correctly, I believe Wing said he was always planning on teaching them, but I could be remembering it wrong.
He said that, but it doesn't imply the fact that he was assigned to teach them. He said he was planning to.
But if it's coincidental,
because, well, here's the thing. Wing knows what the higher levels are. He knows you need nen to go through the higher levels.
But I think it's also coincidental that everyone found a teacher.
No, some people don't.
Who didn't? Out of their graduating class.
That doesn't count. But some people don't, because only 8 people graduated. Okay, so who learned nen? Because some people just learned nen.
Yeah. That's what. But I get that part.
Hold up.
Everyone who graduated found someone who taught them nen. Leorio was off screen.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, hold up. They say it's the second part of the exam.
Yeah.
The lady who at the black market deal is like, hey, do you see what I'm pointing at? It's like, oh, you haven't passed the second part of the exam. Showing that they're not necessarily teachers. It's something you have to find for yourself. It's a hunter's exam. If they're like assigning you teachers, that feels so cheap for a hunter's exam part 2.
But it's crazy that even Pakal found out how to use nen.
Who?
Exactly.
The guy with the bow?
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, that one guy who died. Didn't
Pakal.
learn nen. No, he didn't learn. No, I'm talking about the one who died during the exam.
Like, because the 4 main characters all learn nen. Illumi already knew it.
Yeah.
Hisoka already knew it. Pakal learned it. And I'm missing an 8th? No, sorry. Kilo didn't pass.
Kurapika.
I already got
Oh, sorry. 4 main characters. That's right. You said that.
Yeah. Kilo didn't pass. So that's -1.
One guy died.
One guy died. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then, yeah, Pakal. Okay. Everyone found a nen teacher. It just was a little too
And
coincidental.
then one guy died during the exam.
Yeah.
It doesn't, though, because they're hunters. Also because the writers...
Yeah, but they acknowledge that Pakal's not good at what he does.
No, they don't.
They do. Because Pakal makes a whole thing of yeah, you guys fucking passed because Killua fucking killed a guy and you guys get to pass automatically. And then Kurapika was like, Pakal, you fucking suck. Like, had Killua not killed anyone, you would not have passed. Kurapika says that shit. He's like, Pakal, you suck.
You suck. It feels like just the natural progression of a hunter, though, is the thing. Especially because a lot of things are locked behind that in ways.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting of the idea of someone passing the hunter exam and just not learning nen.
Yeah. I kind of wish they had explored that.
That could have been Leorio.
It was going to be from the feel of it.
And then
He
they
just
gave
decided
him-
to give... He's like, what if I just had him do a teleport punch?
And it was
punch
cool.
Jing.
It was cool.
It was sick. But, yeah, the structure of writing of Hunter x Hunter brings up issues like this. Where we'll never have an answer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm trying to think of people who like have a hunter's exam and because that's another thing that like Jing has the box that you need both Nen and the card to open.
Mm-hmm.
Why need both if passing the hunter's exam you'll eventually learn Nen? Oh, I don't want him to learn it too fast. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's also,
it feels like Nen would have just done the job.
yeah.
Maybe the whole point was like, oh, you're missing something.
Yeah,
Colin.
why need the hunter's card
Yeah.
at all?
Because, like, what if, I guess, had gone learn Nen by himself for some reason, he'd be like, no, you cheated, go get a license.
Well, Jing feels like a kind of guy who's like, oh, fuck it. Go licenseless, like Kite.
Does Kite have a license?
Kite gave his license away to Gon.
You're right. No.
Oh, no, that
Kite
was...
gave Jing's license.
Yeah, that's
Gon.
right. I forgot about that.
And it was gold for some reason.
He's a double X hunter. He passed it again.
He's a hunter. Spoiler. Sorry, guys. Spoilers for...
Oh, yeah. We're talking about all the fucking plot. Oops. Fuck.
Our bad.
It's late, man.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Anyway, we meet the two subordinates whose names I never learned.
And
I'm not going to learn them.
something else. Remember Lanfan?
Lanfan the girl?
Yeah.
That adds up. Are you sure you don't want this snake tattoo?
I kind of do. It's cool.
Get one on either side.
I get Hawkeye's tattoo.
You're
crazy, right?
That'd be insane.
Crazy. I think that's
what
crazier.
tattoo?
I think that's crazy. Oh, you're right. Sorry, spoilers. I think that's crazier than fucking Scars.
Absolutely.
That'd be sick. That'd be raw as fuck. Get
With
both.
with the scar around his arm, which I think we see in this book, not this volume.
Oh, he's also with that fucking
Do we see that already?
fuckhead.
Yeah, he's with that fuckhead from the mine.
Because he opens up, he wakes up at the refugee camp. No, he's already at the refugee camp.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
gets into an altercation.
He kills some
They
people.
go through a lot in these fucking volumes.
Yeah. At the very end, he's just vibing with them.
I love all the moving parts that are already happening.
One thing I don't like,
Mhm.
I don't like the fact that Ed and Al can tangle with these two elite guards for the prince. And no, I beat them specifically. I wish they had come more to a stalemate.
I think Ed should have definitely came to a stalemate. I think Alphonse is very capable.
I know. I think the opposite. I think Ed is fine beating her because she's clearly a disciple of the older man.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he should have trounced fucking Al.
Maybe, but also he caught him off guard because,
Alchemy. He clapped.
yeah. And then he's like, he did it without a purification circle. He's like, it's called a transmutation circle, you fucking foreigner. It's also kind of racist. Can we talk about that?
Where
Ed keeps bringing up his shifty eyes.
Well, he just has shifty eyes, though. He has the exact same eyes. So this is my
But
issue.
if Ed, a white guy, keeps saying that, it feels kind of racist.
You're right. How do you know he's white? Everyone's white.
Ed is 100% white.
It's black and white.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
You sure his hair's not red? maybe.
You clearly having a cover that you can look up.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. He's white.
Fuck. Dang it.
They're supposed to be European.
Yeah.
Also, the end of 2003 was weird.
Oh yeah. He uses that girl to shoot a smoke bomb or something.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
me too.
I like that girl too. She's fucking sick, dude.
Panera.
Sure.
Panina, I think.
Panini.
Yeah.
Anyway, they don't know jack shit about anything. They got to pay for the rubes. Kind of just ends there.
I like how he's just like, oh, I don't speak this language. Bye.
Whoops. No speaking English. Whoops.
He's a fun character. I like him a lot.
Yeah. And then he shows up at the fucking place talking to the guy. Who is this person? I actually don't know who this is.
Who's who?
The guy we were talking about before with the gay stereotype. Who is that?
Oh, he just like also was a part of the shop, I guess.
He wasn't before.
I don't remember actually. They just integrated him so well.
Yeah.
That literally was a Mandela effect. Like, you probably don't remember. I was here.
I used to be the monster.
It's Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, why did you call him that?
Rick and Morty really named a character Mr. Poopy Butthole, and people brought him up in like serious discussions.
Yeah. It's the show for intellectuals, Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Mr. PBH.
Anyway, I really like the fact that he has to show his broken arm to Winry, and she fucking kills him.
They censor it out too.
Yeah. There's
I love the in between of like Ed running away, like you can't catch me.
Yeah,
Winry having a fucking chainsaw.
Haha, get back here. Come back here.
I want what they have.
Anything at all?
Yeah.
I talked about Nier. There's a series before Nier that relates directly to it called Drakengard. In Drakengard 3, you kill one of the main character's sisters in a way so gruesome they actually censor it out. They're like, we can't play this audio because we've been told it would be a detriment to your mental health. And then they start censoring the visuals. They're like, yeah, we just can't show this because it gets really bloody. I was like, that's meta as hell.
Yeah.
And then she gets up afterwards anyway, and I was like, what the fuck? And then her boyfriend chops her in half because he hates her.
Mm.
You know what? I'm not going to say what I'm going to say.
Yeah, with that being said, we're probably at the end of this episode.
Let's talk a little bit about Scar. Scar's on an adventure with that asshat.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do we see Scar's full scar? Yeah, we probably do. He's got a... It's evident that he's a scar above his tattoos on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Em and Weeb. In the next episode, we'll be going over Volume 9? Volume 9.
9?
9. Of the...
I hope your
I was
President
remembering...
King Brandley is there.
Thank you for watching the show. Sorry, we have to move on to the next fucking episode. It's 1:30 in the morning. Leave us 5 stars. Bye.